Hello everybody, welcome back to Filament. I've just done some walking around the ship to find some collectibles and get my bearings after my break. And my controller has died. Not very useful, is it? It's back. I think this might be one of the more accessible puzzles for me right now. So we have to get our thread over all of the floor tiles and all of the pillars. How we do that is the world's greatest mystery. So not like this, because this one got missed. We can do that one on the way back out, so or we could do that. There's just so many of them. I feel like I need to make 400 odd trips that I can't make. Where's rewind? There's rewind. Like, this is never going to work because I need to crisscross through the center more. But annoyingly, that is just off angle enough to not recognize all of the ones before it. Same story with those two there. And those two. It looks like it's going to be great, and then they all just slowly start fizzling away. Which is obviously a big problem. So something like that. Gets a lot of them, but not nearly enough. That's not the button I wanted. It's like that clearly has to go around the outside edge of those. I can squeeze in that gap there, which may well be very useful. But how do I get this one if I'm not going around the outside edge of these two? It feels like it's a necessity. But I can't surely do this for all of the outside edge ones without doing a bunch on the inside as well. So presumably, I need to do a bunch on the inside and then finish with a lap around the outside edge once I've used a bunch of the pins. Because that doesn't like it. So the outside edge becomes the easy part. It's the angles on the inside pieces that baffle me. Like, that seems pretty good. Actually, that seems great. But then we miss those. So it's probably not that. And we've missed multiples of those in the center. There's just so many in this section that seem like they need one very specific line to get lit. Because I can never get those ones that I've enclosed within that gap now. Which seems like a problem. This is why I gave up on this puzzle previously, isn't it? I can't cut in there. So what if we start higher But then this, I don't think, is ever going to be able to be lit. Which is... just feels kind of absurd. I also can't squeeze in there, which is a problem. There's just so many floor tiles. Everything I do feels like it doesn't illuminate nearly enough of them. And I can't leave corners and gaps, which is the really tricky part. Like that. Just can't be done. That's why I think this looked so good at the start, because it gets that first one. But then how do I get this one? Because doing that means this is left out when I get this, which is no good to me. That looks good, but misses out the first one, so perhaps we start here instead. Alright, that's looking good. But I do something similar on the right-hand side, because it is almost a symmetrical level. What I can't do is come down here and loop back over that, because we're operating in reverse here. But this feels very close. What if we went round there? That gets another one. How can I get these last few? Some of these lines look really good. I think I might have to do more with that last section. So can I do a bunch more before I do that lap? This looks great. Please be sweet, sweet progress. Nice. 8 minutes for a puzzle. Not too bad. Now there's going to be another of those. I hate it because it looks deceptively simple. Doesn't it? Right, can't go in that gap. Noted. What diagonals can I use / create here? Because those two outside edges does not capture the floor tile in between the two of them. Which is going to be a big problem. Like, those don't catch either. So what diagonal will catch? Ugh. I can't see any diagonals that do the things I want them to. Alright, maybe that's one of them. But I bet I can't squeeze in this gap. No, I think we already tried that, didn't we? To no avail. So I can never do that pillar with this particular angle. And that's the same problem. I think this level is exactly symmetrical, so whether I start on top or bottom, there should hypothetically be a solution both ways. Now obviously these diagonals are great, but can I do all of them? I don't see how I would do all of them. That's very tricky. There's also these two giant pieces across the bottom and top edges that I'm just not entirely sure how to utilize. If I do this, I don't think I can ever get the bottom. Can I get that? No, I can't get those two in this angle. And I can't ever wrap around the center here. How am I ever getting those two in the center? Because if there was like one more pin, it would be fine, because I could then do something round and back again, but the math ain't mathing. The big question is, do we start forwards or do we start on an edge? That's the gap I can't squeeze through. I don't think this can ever be it, because I now can't get the top tile there. Oh, this is weird. How do puzzle designers come up with these things? Is my big question. I like the green light just gently flowing through the floor. Pleases my brain. I don't know how I could use some of these pins for multiple things as well. It would be great if I could somehow. Oh. Great. Love that. Okay, the last one had kind of order. This one has disorder. So many lines. Presumably, there's just kind of one correct way to cut through all the bits we need. But what that looks like, I'm uncertain. Which you would expect, because I've not solved the puzzle yet. But the left-hand side looked great. The right-hand side does not look great. Oh my god, it's intuition. What did I miss? That tiny floor tile right there. Right at the end. Doesn't go. Okay, what if we do this slightly backwards? Am I missing a different floor tile now? Yes. Yes, I am. That's that one. Doesn't go. I could go under something else. Everything would be fine. What if we go... No, we can't go that way around that. I feel like that's non-negotiable. So many of these don't work if you're on the wrong side of the pillar. And obviously the left part of the puzzle may be incorrect, but it feels so correct, you know? And probably just going around one thing to the left instead of to the right. All that stuff on the left just looks so good. Definitely not that. Like these few moves here all look so intuitive. Right up until there. Alright, this also looks like it could be good. But you have this big arc of 4 here. And I clearly cannot draw tiles in a curve. So this becomes a big problem right here. Because I've got no anchor point against that now. Whereas I think this before was my anchor point. And now this one doesn't have anything. Now I can't remember how I had it to begin with, so fresh full restart, I suppose. Let's try a different direction. This now has no access whatsoever. And nothing I do can make those two join. We're back down to these two at the bottom being a problem. I wish I could solve in this view. I don't know why it won't let me. That seems great. Totally great. That seems like a waste of a pillar, and that I don't think the designers would make that pillar go that way. Can I, ignoring everything else, can I squeeze in that gap to use that as an anchor from here? Nope. So that's probably not it. This is the biggest mystery to me. How am I getting this one? I guess it might be something like... No, that doesn't work either. So what line can I draw that gets this exact tile? Because if I can figure that out, I might be able to figure out a bunch of the rest of what's going on. I could finish there. That would probably be fine. Is this going to be the same problem I've had multiple times before, where that doesn't go? How do I always end up here? That goes, but I can't leave. I feel like this is so close. I just need one additional anchor somewhere, and everything will be gravy. But everything apart from this one on the left, apart from this guy that I don't feel totally in love with, I don't know what else I can do with that. Because I need that side to get those two floor tiles. Now I've lost how I did any of this. Did I do all of this? That's a great question. I can't go to that side of that. Oh, goodness. I've lost it all. It has all left my brain in an immediate fashion. Is this what I was just looking at? Probably, right? You get to here. This opens the door and I can't leave. I'm rolling over the cable of my controller with my chair because that's right, I have a controller with a cable in 2024. God, it's 2024. What could I do for this last piece? I can do this, but then I'm lacking an anchor. This still leaves me without an anchor. I could be like so far off of the correct answer as well, which is the really traumatizing part. But it feels so right, you know? Well, that's interesting. Kind of lacking ways to do these two, though. We leave that top edge. That's very much the wrong side of those. Oh? Anything here? Right, so we missed that one in the middle. However, this method does get the rest. So is there some way I can add that corner in somewhere? And this is very different to the previous solution, so maybe this is just one move away from the solution and the last one was 8 moves away. There's some way I can draw this line better. Ah! There's nothing to draw a line with this. Well, that's not going to work, is it? Oh my god. Alright, this suddenly doesn't feel great at all. That gets both of those. Another instance where I just kind of wish I could take the floor of the level and start drawing lines on everything to denote where I think that good kind of connections between the outside edges of things would exist. It's this guy. This is a real problem. Now this becomes a problem because once I'm further outside of that edge, I can't do anything with it. That's really close, but it's not it. This just becomes the previously failed solution. We try the top side edge first. Can't do it. This is just so near yet far. In so many ways it feels. Is this the same problem? It is. I keep getting to this spot here. To no avail. And then this is the same but different. To no avail. And again, if I had a single pin at the bottom, everything would be fine. If we start with this. Then again, I have this that is not getting used for anything terribly functional. And now can't cover that. That line is no good to me. That I like because it leaves that pin on the left side available for use for something later. But then these two become a problem. I can't go that way around that. I can't go that way around that. This whole right-hand side just doesn't feel good in using what's left, you know? That top edge is a simple hook. I can do that at any time. These two. If I do this, I now can't get this piece. It's just a long succession of incorrect routes. So I feel fairly convinced that that route is only attainable by that, which means I can't have this in place and this in place. Ergo, we have to do that in some other fashion. Alright, I'm going to poke this for a minute because we've gone past the half-hour mark. I'll see if I can get a thread that is slightly different to what we've been doing. Alright, I don't have it, but I have a different thread to pull. Thread to pull. Coming in from the top edge here means I can get those two and then do this arc that has been giving me bother. And now hooking in here just leaves kind of 5 points around the outside edge. So what order could I do these in with enough like out and backs? Like that's no good. That's no good. This can't go this way around. Oh wait, if this is no good, I can go all the way around the outside edge. And then all the way around the outside edge again. And then all the way around the outside edge again. Can I hook this with this? I can! Oh god, thank you. Goodness. So I just had to come in from a different angle and then all kind of fell into place. Complete all of the pad puzzles.
We realized that we couldn't distance ourselves from the planet. We had an emergency meeting with the captain. She was as reliable as ever. Calm and collected. Our first instinct was to use the escape pods, as we thought they might be small enough to escape the planet's pull. She told us to hold tight, though. It was her that reminded us where we were. On the frontier. The middle of nowhere. Sure, we could probably escape, but we'd be light years away from civilization, in a canister, with minimal rations and no cryosleep pods. Besides, what if I was wrong and they couldn't escape the pull either? If we could, we had to keep the Alabaster. Aubergine and Marmalade had started work on something as soon as they realized that we were stuck. They pitched it to the captain in that meeting. They called them anchors.
How did I miss this? It's not... Is that Braille? It doesn't look like Braille. It looks too uniform to be Braille. Can I get you sideways? Not really. Well, it's in my collection now, and this one.
It's a little bit terrifying, isn't it? Hard to believe that putting yourself through this thing could actually fix you. It was this large metal cylinder that had the honor of separating me from my appendix. I asked Vermilion if I could keep it after the surgery, like in a jar or something, but he just sighed and didn't answer me. Classic Vermilion. I think that in the end this room was gutted for spare parts to help construct the anchors, so it won't be up and running again anytime soon. On a completely unrelated note, how are you feeling? Well? You're feeling well, right? Good.
Yeah, I have my health still. Alright, so that is another section done. In my walk around the ship at the beginning, before I started recording, I was like, oh, so many of the puzzles are seemingly now so difficult. So we are getting to the stage where we're really going to have to rub those brain cells together. But for now, that is as good a resting spot as any. Thank you ever so much for watching. If you enjoyed the series, please do consider subscribing or hitting that like button. If you have any questions, comments, recommendations, put them down below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.